Hello and happy Wednesday. I'm Kat Kruger. My pronouns are she, her, and welcome to Game Design Lab, where we talk together and chat and create game design items, monsters, NPCs, whatever strikes our fancy. And I think this week we're going to be designing a magic item for a villain that we created over the course of the past few weeks. The villain's name is Frederick Serpentine. Started off as sort of a vampire, but we made alterations to make it more snake themed. So there's a bit of Naga like um, powers that he's got. He also has this snake charm armband which he took off of his the Baroness who transformed him. So we're going to sort of go through the process of how do you make a magic item, from a just like a generic sense to a more specific sense of maybe going into 5e, and looking at design options. One of the things that is available as a tool for 5e is the Dungeon Master's Guide has a whole section dedicated to creating magic items. And like monsters, the easiest thing to do is just reskin an existing magic item. And we could look at something like Staff of the Adder, for example. But I think I want to make something a little bit more, I don't know, a little cooler for and with more abilities for this villain who is a 13th CR 13 CR challenge rating 13 for this villain that we've created, possibly more because he's kind of a work in progress still. But I'm going to start off by going over some of the things that we've already talked about in in our chat in our chats over the course of the past few weeks. So we have the snake charm armband. We had talked about possibly using some of the Staff of the Adder type features where it can animate and uh, lunge out, have a bite attack, and it is a very cool idea to have this animated um, object that can do something like that. We've also talked about it possibly allowing for blind sight, taking from snakes, also maybe increasing the sense of smell from more like real world snakes. That's not a feature that is um, given to snakes, or an ability that's given to snakes in 5e stat blocks. But we're also trying to design for, like I said at the start, like a broader sense. So if you wanted to create a magic item for other games or other worlds, it doesn't necessarily have to be a 5e 5e format, but 5e is what I primarily work in when I'm not working in board games. So I'm going to do a little bit of both and just help new designers in particular. That's what this I've decided that the stream is more about, is helping newer designers get sort of an entry point, or be able to brainstorm and access both my knowledge and just have a conversation online about how design happens. There's no, like, I don't think it's formulaic. Everybody has a creative process that they go through, and I think it's just important to you know know that brainstorming is part of it, and you put all the ideas out there, and sometimes they stick and sometimes they don't. Um, anyway, I am going to, I know that there is potentially an ad break going on right now, but I'm going to go into my journal view. Hi, Socialist Pie. Hi, Andy. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're both having good weeks. Mine's kind of rough. I got some, like, Grayson was homesick. My preschooler was homesick last week, for the second half of the week, and uh, I don't know. I got some rough news this weekend, um, and I also have my first freelance contract of the year, and of course, timing has been terrible, but here we are. Working on a magic item for Frederick Serpentine. So what I have here is this is D&D Beyond. Um, this is from the Dungeon Master's Guide, and we have a section here called Creating a Magic Item. And like I said, this is very helpful when you're just approaching a 5e design because especially if you're new to designing magic items because it has a lot of very helpful information here beyond just modifying an item. It's very easy to just modify um, an an item. Yeah, I know it is hard to get out of the funk. So I've been using Pomodoro focus timer, which has been very helpful. I'm going to actually post it in chat here for anybody who is having a rough time and needs focus. You can obviously buy a Pomodoro timer, but this online one was mentioned to me by, I think it's Ashley Warren, who's the director at Storytelling Collective. This has been so helpful in keeping focus. Um, and I just love working this way. It just helps make sure that I'm working in intervals and then taking breaks when I need to. Your brain is allergic to it. It did take me a while to get into it, but when I really am stuck and not focused, it's the only way I can push through it, honestly. I actually don't. So here's, I guess maybe this is my secret to Pomodoro timers. I don't estimate how long a task is going to be. I just put a bunch of tasks in there and I just work for 20 and 25-minute intervals. And then this one also gives me um, yeah, sneaky. And this one also gives, you get a bunch of 5-minute breaks, but then there's I am gaming the system, and then it'll give you a 15-minute break. But yeah, this is the only way that like I just need to be able to focus on what I'm doing for those intervals. It doesn't matter that I'm not, necessarily achieving a goal within that 25-minute period. I mean, I'm working towards a goal ultimately. Like I've got all these little bits of my work that I need to get done, and I check them off as I get them done, but it's not going to get done in 20 like every 25 minutes. I just take my break, and then when something's done, I check it off. So I feel like it's less stressful that way. Anyway, back to this magic item. So, like we did with the monster, um, this is creating designing a monster. Dungeon Master's Guide has um, has a section in this chapter about how to create one, and one of the things is just modifying an item. This is like the very base level, really easy. You're not going to publish this magic item. It's just for your home brew. You just sort of reskin uh, this item. Um, and you can do like tiny little tweaks. So, if we wanted to just change staff of the adder to be an armband of the adder or armband of, poisonous snake or serpentine's armband or whatever you want to name it, we could just do that. And then we would have a magic item that does specifically the things that are um, listed there or, reflavored so that, um, it does a different type of damage or, uh, it looks different. This is not what we're doing in this session though, because we do want to just sort of like get up to the next level of actually creating a brand new item. You can still take inspiration from the magic items that exist in the world, but what we're trying to do is create something that is brand new. Um, there are rules for creating magic items in 5e, and you will see that in this handy guide here. Uh, there, it shows you specifically what the power level is of a magic item. Um, so there's 5 different rarity types, and so it's common, uncommon, rare, very rare, and legendary. And associated with those types are the maximum spell level you can attach to the magic item, um, and the maximum bonuses that you can attach as well. I think this is really great when you're starting out because you can just refer to this to to know whether or not um, the rarity that you've get assigned something is um, truly working, or that if it's overpowered for that rarity type. Um, and there's also the idea of attunement, and this one is like there's no hard and fast rule about it, but I think it has more to do with balance, party balance, um, and how it could potentially disrupt your game if you're able to just like give an item um, to somebody else in the party and just keep passing this item around. Um, that could potentially break your game. So you might want to have an attunement attached to it. It also it also ensures that very powerful items. You can only attune to 3 items at a time, and therefore, you have to make some hard choices. You can't accessorize with all magic items all the time. So that's just the overview there of if we were designing this specifically for 5e, um, what are some of the things considerations that you have to take into account as a designer. But now we're going to go back to this snake charm armband. Um, I am going to pull up the staff of the adder. On D&D Beyond. I'm not going to pull it up on my iPad, I don't think. Well, maybe I can do that. Just give me a second here. Staff of the adder. Let's see what comes up here. Did I make up? Oh, here it is. I'm like, did I make up Staff of the adder? What is going on here? I can't find it. All right, here we go. So Staff of the Adder, such a cool looking staff. The artwork is beautiful. Um, so this one specifically is saying that this is an uncommon item. It requires attunement by specifically a cleric, druid, or warlock. Um, and I'll just read off what this does. So you can use a bonus action to speak the staff's command word and make the head of the staff become that of an animate poisonous snake for 1 minute. By using another bonus action to speak the command word again, you return the staff to its normal inanimate form. You can make a melee attack using the snake head, which has a reach of 5 feet. Your proficiency bonus applies to the attack roll. On a hit, the target takes 1d6 piercing damage and must succeed on a DC 15 Constitution saving throw or take 3d6 poison damage. The snakehead can be attacked while it is animate. It has an armor class of 15 and 20 hit points. If the head drops to 0 points, the staff is destroyed. As long as it's not destroyed, the staff regains all lost hit points when it reverts to its animate form. It is very rad. Now, I was thinking with Frederick, it would be more like one of those armbands. Pardon me. And historically, I'm not sure where this armband idea is coming from. Armband. Is it Celtic? Is it Viking? Or is it even older than that? Like Egyptian? I don't know. Um, just taking a quick look here just to see. Arm ring. So it looks like Vikings use them a lot. Just looking for some inspiration here. Indonesia. Um, I guess it's a Bronze Age creation. And we have some information here about the Viking ones. Just mostly I'm looking for inspiration on, why they were used and how they look. Oh, this is interesting. There's something about oath taking. Take an oath to uphold their allegiance and commitment to one another, even unto death. That's cool. So, historically known as the oath of loyalty and dignity, this arm ring served as the binding factor to this pledge. I don't know. I feel like maybe this is like Serpentine's pledge to, like, maybe like he's bound to this serpent. Oh, I wonder if we can make it a sentient item. So there are sentient magic items, as any of you who have followed D20 Dames knows. Um, so in the Good Fortune campaign that I was the DM for, we had some sentient magic items that the monk in the party came upon, and I like the idea of making this a sentient item. because it gives this animated snake form. Maybe it's a naga. Um, it gives it a personality, and I don't know. I just like the how cool an idea it is. Now, with sentient magic items, I know that there's also um, rules around that, and I'm just going to see if I can find that also in D&D Beyond. Here we go. Creating sentient magic items. All right, I think I should be able to find this um, in here if I do a search. Sentient. Oops. Okay. Magic items. It's gotta be in here somewhere. Attunement, cursed, magic categories, rings. Yeah, there's tons of information here about different types, but I'm looking specifically for the sentient one, which I found on my desktop computer, or my laptop, but I'm trying to find it here. Creating sentient magic items. Here we go. All right, so I think this is going to be really cool. So when you decide to make a magic item sentient, you create the item's persona in the same way you would create an NPC, with few exceptions described here. Um, so this magic item has intelligence, wisdom, and charisma scores, and it has modes of communication, possibly. Some senses, alignment. Clearly, this is going to be some sort of evil alignment. And then it has a special purpose. All right, so absolutely. So let's do this. Let's dive in and create this personality for this item. Um, I think the item is going to be cursed too. I think it has to be cursed. All right. Let's see. Sentient. How am I going to do this? All right, let's look at what we need to look at here. So communication. Do we think that we can either roll for it or create it ourselves? Um, I I think that it should communicate. So it can either do so by through emotion. Um, it can actually speak. There's a version that can speak and also communicate telepathically. I'm leaning towards either telepathic or emotional. Um, yeah, I think it's definitely more fun if it communicates. Um, um, Emotions probably harder to, translate, but it could also be cool, like, there could be just, like, this like, a lot of anger and rage and angst, in this creature, in this, sentience presence, this sentient presence, um, instead of just whispering. Yeah, telepathic does seem more manageable. Um, so let's go with the, telepathic communication. Oh, what? Then we have, senses. Um, with sentience comes awareness. A sentient item can perceive its surroundings out to a limited range. You can choose its senses or roll on the table. Um, I'm not going to roll on the table because I have in my mind that, because it is snake-like or naga-like, maybe we'll take a look at what those creatures have, because I'd rather tie it into that. Um, oops. So let me just take a quick look at our monsters here. So I'm going to take a look at the naga and the snake. I think it's blind sight. I'll look at a spirit naga. Um, so a spirit naga has dark vision out to 60 feet, which I think is probably what we want to do. Hearing and dark vision. $60. I'm just going to put some sort of evil alignment and we'll figure out specifically when we develop a personality. Okay, next we have the item's mannerism, personality traits, ideals, bonds, and flaws. Let's talk about what we think this this creature is all about. So I'm gonna write in here personality traits. Should be two of them. Ideals, those bonds, those and flaws. I can always come back to those as well. What is different about Ascension item is that it does have more of like a purpose. Um, so, years later, spoilers, for Good Fortune campaign, I guess it's not spoilers, but like the the Nightmare Stone and the Dream Stone in that campaign, the Nightmare Stone's objective was actually to destroy the Dream Stone. Um, and that's why there was a lot of like conflict between the two. But I don't think it was ever like fully explained. It's more inferred, I think. Um, so we have a lot of like um, examples here. I can go through some of them. This item can either seek to defeat or destroy those diametrically opposed in alignment. That doesn't seem like something I'd be interested in pursuing for this item. Bane seeks to defeat or destroy creatures of a particular kind. Protector seeks to defend a particular race or kind of creature. Crusader tries to defeat servants of a particular deity. Templar defends servants and interests of a particular deity. Destroyer craves destruction and goads its user to fight arbitrarily. Glory Seeker seeks renown as the greatest magic item in the world. Lore Seeker craves knowledge or is determined to solve a mystery. Destiny Seeker, convinced that it and its wielder have key roles to play in the future. Creator Seeker seeks its creator and wants to understand why it was created. Oh, interesting. Gonna have to use that at some point as a Destiny Glory Seeker or Destiny Seeker. Yeah. I like Glory Seeker too because I feel like it's very aligned with what Frederick wants anyway. Um, so there's not resistance there in this case. Like they're just a good pairing in that regard. Oops. Characteristic Glory Seeker. um, there can be conflict, as we saw in Good Fortune campaign, because it has a will of its own. I feel like in this case though, it's very aligned with what Frederick wants. Um, I think it does require attunement. I'm gonna put in here another page. Requires attunement. Cursed. Stats. Need to put some stats here too for wisdom, no, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. Okay. All right. What else do we want to do here? So we're not gonna. We can't give blind sight and sense of smell. I like the adder. Um, being able to animate. Let's see. What else can we add here? I think I would like to, eventually name the presence, but we probably need to go through personality traits. And the more I'm thinking about this, the more I think it's actually going to be not just a naga, a snake. It's going to be a naga. So going to put in here that it is a spirit naga presence is also helpful for looking at some of the stats that it might have. So make it chaotic evil. And um, just borrow from the spirit naga stats here. I don't need to put the modifiers. 16, 15, and 16. All right, so if we're looking at what a spirit naga is, they live in gloom and spitefulness, constantly plotting vengeance against creatures that have wronged them, or they believe have wronged them. They are intelligent serpents that were created by as immortal guardians. All right. So, what kind of personality traits do we think this sentient creature should have? Sound pretty miserable, yeah. I think they make a makes a good pairing with Frederick. I think somewhere in here we want to get vengeance as one of its um, key personality characteristic. Um, I think maybe its flaw is its spitefulness. Um, there's something here. A spirit naga likes to charm its foes, drawing them close so that it can sink its poisonous fangs into their flesh. I think maybe it's like keep your friends close and your oh yeah, huge ego, entitlement, yeah. gonna just sort of make a note here about entitlement, flesh it out later. And I think like charm, charming enemies. Um, Ideals are tied to vengeance, I think. Bond one, is a curious one because I'm not sure what it would be bonded to. So I'll have to think about that a little bit more. One cool thing that I'm looking at here about the Nagas is that even if struck down, a Naga's immortal spirit reforms in a new body in a matter of days, ready to continue its eternal work. So I think, if we're going to use like the idea of the staff of the adder, in that case, if um, in that case the snake, sort of dies. But I think um, what I might want to do with this magic item is uh, it needs like a long rest to regenerate or something like that. You have to actually somehow destroy the armband itself. Um, yes, exactly. Um, all right. I think we've got some good bare bones here on, um, what the personality is for this. We've got a bit about what the magic item actually does. There's a little bit about the staff of the adder, but it is more powerful than that because the snake head can revive itself after a long rest. Um, let's see, can confer blind sight and sense of smell. I think I wanted to do something more than this though. Um, uh, so I'm just going to write a note if snakehead reduced to 0 long rest. It's required. Oh, I also wanted to put that it is a cursed item. Oh, I did put cursed up there already. Um, what else? Probably has like advantage, confers advantage. Um, on charisma checks with like any snake, any snake type creature. So Yonti, animal handling, snakes, and I believe we were going to put charm in here, or did Frederick already have charm as a spellcasting ability? I have to look into that. I can't remember. Oops. Frederick Serpentine. Charm person is already something there. At will. Oh, okay. I think I'm just going to transfer this information from Frederick's stat block because it says while he's wearing the snake charm armband, he can cast one of these spells. Spell casting, at will, charm person, and minor illusion. And then 2 per day. Each is detect thoughts. And dominate person. Okay. I think we have a pretty good magic item here. We still need a bond. I'm not really sure what to do about that, but if anybody has any ideas, maybe I'll look for examples just to see. Bonds. Maybe it's a special place. Hmm. Just trying to find some good examples here. Don't see any readily available. All right. Trying to get a table here. Not too many that are helpful for an evil aligned character. All right. Let's see. D&D evil bonds. I'm just drawing a blank here for bonds for this sentient evil creature magic item. I think I'm gonna just have to think about it offline here. Yeah. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take all of this information and then put it um, into the homebrew section of um, bonded to a previous wearer. Yeah, I'm not sure what that would do either. Yeah, I'm stuck on this one, but I'm sure after some thought, and if you think of something after the stream ends, please feel free to let me know online in Discord or whatever. Um, but I think what I'm going to do is I will put this into the homebrew section of D&D Beyond. Um, I don't think I need to do that on stream because I feel like it's just going to be data entry. um, so I think I'll do that on my own, and then it'll be available. I'll put a link in Patreon for you all to check out and use if you'd like to. Still working on the College of Chaos Bard. I need to finish that. Um, what is it? The random table of chaos magic, and also Frederick's stat block is still sort of a work in progress. But I think this is one that I can finish up between now and our next stream. Um, if you have ideas on what you want to see designed in the next stream, I don't have any ideas right now. We could also decide um, when we do stream, when I do stream on next Wednesday. But yeah, either let me know in chat or online. But for now, I think we've got a pretty good magic item here. I think it sounds um, pretty great. It's taking some of the flavor of Staff of the Adder, but making it a little bit more of a closer to a legendary item, I think. Um, and I will, like I said, get that in D&D Beyond in the homebrew. But yeah, thank you everyone again for input and for helping design this cool magic item. I'm hoping that we can continue to build our little collaborative fantasy sort of urban fantasy world. No worries, Social Spy. I'm gonna put this in D&D Beyond. Um, but yeah, if you have ideas for what you want to see next week, let me know. We've got like our little NPC. We've got what we thought was the villain, but now we have the actual villain. We have a location and a magic item. Maybe we build out the world a little bit more. Um, Either through other characters or other locations or monsters. I think we need to look at what else exists in the world before we can create some more monsters, though. Maybe another NPC. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you again. And oh yeah, I am hopefully streaming on Friday. Again, I'm still working. I don't think I've made much progress on my over the garden wall cross stitch since I last showed it, but here we go. Still lots of work to go to complete this, but it's coming along quite nicely, and I'm gonna be streaming that on Friday. My hours have changed for that. I don't know if oh, I did not change my Streamlabs notification. Um, Time has changed to 1 to 2 Pacific for Crafternoon. Yeah, I'm loving the shading on the branches too. I'm glad I picked the black fabric. It's the first time I've done that, but I like how the colors really stand out. Anyway, I will see you online and hopefully on stream in afternoon. I know that time doesn't necessarily work for everyone, but I'll see you. I'll at least chat with you online. All right, take care, everyone.